Why did you shoot me? I'm innocent. Hands where I can see him. Don't move!
What would you do if you were walking home with a bag of groceries, tired from a long day, and a single gunshot ended your life in the middle of the street, only for the whole world to later learn that the man who pulled the trigger had been watched, tracked, and studied by forces far above his pay grade? What would you think if the same system that once sent you to war was quietly watching your final moments from thousands of miles away? And what if the truth the officer tried to bury became the very thing that destroyed him? Before we continue, welcome to Silent Echo Stories. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your country in the comments. We want to see how far these stories travel. Daniel Walker was not a loud man. He did not wear flashy clothes. He did not drive a nice car. He did not talk about his past unless someone asked. He was a black man in his late 30s, medium height, slim build, a small limp in his left leg that never fully healed after an explosion overseas. Daniel was a war veteran. He had served his country for 8 years, 2 tours in a desert where the heat burned your skin and the nights were filled with distant gunfire. He had lost friends there. He had carried wounded men. He had followed orders even when he was afraid. When he came back home, he tried to live a quiet life. He worked at a warehouse, night shifts, long hours, low pay. He never complained. He rented a small apartment near a busy road. He went to the store after work. He waved at the same cashier every time. He still kept his old army jacket, the one with his unit patch on the arm. It was worn out, but it was warm. It reminded him of who he used to be. Daniel believed in rules, in order, in respect. When he saw police, he did what he had been trained to do. Hands visible, slow movements, calm voice. He believed that if you did everything right, nothing bad would happen. He was wrong. Officer Mark Reynolds had been on the force for 6 years. He liked control. He liked being in charge. He liked the weight of his badge and the sound of people lowering their voices when he spoke. He believed the streets were dangerous. He believed most people were lying. And deep down, he believed certain people were more of a threat than others. He had written many reports about suspicious behavior. He had stopped many black men. He had used the same words again and again: aggressive stance, sudden movement, feared for my life. His supervisors rarely questioned him. His record looked clean on paper. That night, he was tired, angry. His shift had been long. A call came over the radio. Suspicious male walking near Pine Street. Dark clothing, possible loitering. That was enough for him. It was cold. The kind of cold that makes your hands stiff and your breath show in the air. Traffic crawled along the road. Headlights stretched into long lines. People wanted to get home. Daniel had just left the grocery store, a small bag in one hand, his phone in his pocket, his army jacket zipped halfway up. He walked with a slight limp, but he kept moving. The police car slowed beside him. Daniel heard the engine. He felt that familiar tight feeling in his chest, the one he always felt when a cruiser pulled close. The car stopped. The door opened. Officer Reynolds stepped out, one hand already near his gun. "Hey, you! Stop right there." Daniel stopped. He turned slowly. "Yes, sir," he said. "Hands where I can see them." Daniel raised his hands, open palms, just like he had been trained. "I'm just heading home," he said. "I came from the store." Reynolds looked at him, took in the jacket. Look, the dark skin, the bag. "Get on the ground." Daniel hesitated for a second, not because he wanted to run, because he was confused. "Did I do something wrong?" he asked. That was when Reynolds' voice got louder. "I said get on the ground. Now." Daniel took one small step back, not to flee, just a reflex. His injured leg shifted. Reynolds saw movement. His finger tightened. The street was loud with engines, but the gunshot cut through everything. One sharp sound, then silence. The bullet hit Daniel in the chest. He fell backward. The grocery bag hit the ground. An orange rolled into the street. A carton of milk burst open. Daniel gasped. His hands, still raised, slowly dropped. Blood spread across the front of his jacket, right over the old unit patch. People screamed. A car slammed on its brakes. Someone shouted, "He didn't have anything." Phones came out. Cameras started recording. Reynolds stood frozen, guns still pointed, breathing fast. Daniel tried to speak, but no words came. Within minutes, sirens filled the air. Paramedics rushed in, but it was too late. Daniel Walker died on the sidewalk of the city he had once sworn to protect. That night, the report was written. Suspect made a threatening move. Officer feared for his life. Weapon not found, but motion consistent with drawing one. The case looked like many others, but this time, something was different. 2 days earlier, far from that cold street in a secure building near Washington, a military review team had started a quiet program. They were studying how returning veterans were treated by police, especially those who had filed complaints, especially those who were black. Daniel's name was in the system. Months before, he had reported being stopped at gunpoint while walking in uniform. The case had gone nowhere, but his file remained. So when the body cam footage from Pine Street uploaded, a silent alert went off. Not in the city, in the Pentagon. Analysts watched the video frame by frame. They saw Daniel's hands, they heard his calm voice, they saw the step back, they saw the gunfire. They pulled Reynolds' past records, a pattern formed, and the power began to shift. Federal agents arrived within days. Not local, not state, federal. They took the body cam, the dash cam, the phone videos from witnesses. They took Reynolds' service history. The story hit the news. Black veteran shot while unarmed. Then another headline. Federal review finds pattern of false reports by officer. Reynolds was placed on leave, then suspended, then charged. In court, the video played on a large screen. The room was silent as Daniel's last moments filled the air. The judge listened. The jury watched. Reynolds' words from his report were read aloud. Then the video showed the truth. No weapon, no threat, no rush. Just a tired man with groceries and his hands in the air. The charge was no longer just a mistake. It was a crime. Reynolds was found guilty of civil rights violations and wrongful death. His badge was taken. His career ended. His name became a warning. At Daniel's funeral, a folded flag was placed in his mother's hands, a quiet honor for a man who had lived quietly. The street where he fell returned to normal. Cars passed, people walked, but those who knew the story never forgot. The system that once sent him to war had watched his last breath, and this time it did not look away, because power does not always wear a uniform in the street. Sometimes it watches from far above, and sometimes justice finally answers. If this story moved you, support the channel by liking this video, sharing it, and subscribing for more real-life inspired stories. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. And remember, every echo of truth, no matter how quiet, can travel far.